Winter, 1938, the Yorkville neighborhood of Manhattan. An elderly widower named Emrick Jettner needs cash he does not have. He is 70 years old, a former locksmith, living above a small radio repair shop he can barely afford to keep open. He buys a used copper printing plate for $11. In his kitchen, he begins pressing crude copies of the $1 bill. The paper is wrong. The ink smears if you wet it. Under any real scrutiny, the bills fail instantly. He does not care. He is not trying to get rich. He spends the bills one at a time, in different stores, days apart. A dime here, a quarter there, never twice in the same shop. Never enough to draw attention. By 1940, Secret Service agents notice the pattern. Counterfeit ones keep surfacing across the Upper East Side, then across the Bronx. The bills are so poor that agents nickname the file Mr. 880 after its case number, and privately call the counterfeiter the worst in the business, which is exactly what protects him. No professional forger would bother with $1. The profit margin is too thin to chase, and the volume needed to matter would mean printing thousands, which means risk. Jettner is not thinking about margins. He is thinking about rent and bread and coal for winter. He works alone in a cluttered apartment above his own small shop, cutting each bill by hand with scissors because he cannot afford a proper paper trimmer. When he runs low, he presses more. When agents canvass a block asking questions, he waits weeks, then starts again 3 streets over. 3 years pass, then 5. Agents assigned to the case get promoted, transferred, or retire from it. And new agents inherit a file that never closes. Newspapers stop mentioning the case because there is nothing new to report, only the same trickle of bad ones turning up in cash registers. Meanwhile, he keeps spending. A grocer here, a newsstand there, always small, always cash, always gone before anyone counts the drawer twice. By 1945, agents have filed over 5,000 pages on a suspect they cannot identify, describing a pattern instead of a person. They know his habits. They know his radius. A few square miles he never leaves. They do not know his face, his age, or his name. What nobody realized was that the bills held the clue the whole time. The same tiny flaw repeating on every note, a scratch on Washington's collar, because he never replaced the worn plate. He could not afford to, and buying a new one meant risking a dealer who might remember his face. In January of 1948, a fire breaks out in his apartment building. Firefighters clear the unit above his shop and find something odd inside. A printing press, stacks of blank paper, and a partly finished dollar bill still sitting on the table. It is the plate that finally ends it. The same plate he refused to retire because a new one cost money he still did not have. Secret Service agents arrive within hours of the fire report. Jettner, 73 years old by then, confesses immediately, calmly,
I have
without
no
argument.
choice but to confess.
He has been passing counterfeit ones since before the war. He tells agents he only ever spent what he needed to get by, never more, never less, and kept no hidden stash anywhere in the apartment. Investigators later estimate his total output at under $7,000, spread across nearly a decade of careful, patient spending, a fraction of what a real counterfeiter would move in a single month. It makes him the longest-running counterfeiter in Secret Service history at the time, caught not by a raid, not by an informant, but by a fire he never saw coming. A judge, moved by his age and his restraint, sentences him to 1 year and a day. He serves 4 months before release. A Hollywood studio buys his story within 2 years and turns it into a film starring Edmund Gwenn. Jettner earns more from selling his life rights than he ever earned from the printing press itself across the entire decade. The building he lived in still stands on that block today. The fire that caught him was never explained.